Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of an action pose. So a person swinging an object to one side while in flight or like while jumping. So if you have your pencil all set, we're going to first actually begin placing the object right here. So the object, let's say it's could be a stick. Normally people don't swing sticks like this, but let's put a stick. And then we will put in the person. Now the challenging aspect of this pose is that we have to show them swinging as mentioned while jumping. So there's a lot of like crunch happening, a lot of foreshortening. We'll put the shoulder set out here now, but it's going that way, like this way. So because we have to give leeway to this hand here, and that hand is necessarily, although also grasping the object and coming close to this hand, it's stationed like this. The head is stationed right here. And of course now we have to imagine that the chest from that angle is like so, it's here, and then there's that extreme hunch, and there's the lower part of the body. So it's like we're looking backward, like there's as mentioned, like foreshortening. That's what it is. So if we just have this set of shapes in place and that far apart, we can start to work some magic in terms of putting down the core framework. Now let's actually go into the hand and put that out right away. Now there necessarily does not need to be space, but if there's a little space in between, doesn't really matter. There's the knuckle set right there, so fingers going up into the knuckle, hint of the thumb, and that's one hand going backward. There's the back going into the lower part of the torso. So chest, collar structure right there. And I've just pushed the head a little higher, but it can be hunched forward. It can be like deeply hunched into the chest, which will be fine. And the other hand, of course, right over the structure that we put in, goes pretty much like that. So we will probably eliminate that space that we spoke about in between. Or there's a little bit there, right there, but that's okay. So all we have to do is, if we do not need it, we can just put the hands together. Like, let's close them together, that's all. So move the forearm and everything else lower. So there's the stick going up. Of course you can make it straight, and it could be a stick, it could be a sword, could be anything, but that's the idea. So swinging it to like one side, and then a core of the action happening here as well. So 2 circles, so one for each leg, I guess, would help. And how we go about that is that we put in, there's a lot of foreshortening here. So that is the thigh, just that much. Huge knee, calf and shin going back, and foot somewhere there. And right here as well, thigh, height of the foot right there. So it's like well, definitely a jumping action. We'll grab a different pen for this. So we put in the chunkier parts now. We go back. Put down these strokes. Just to complete that set of legs. So there's the groin area right there, and that thigh, the top of the thigh there, not necessarily showing, but coming just around there into the knee. And we have the other foot right there. Of course, we have to show the groin, like, going, the thighs going in, the legs going into the groin like that. Now we can set them apart if you want, or they can be together. Like this is fine, really, but if we still need, let's say, a little more dynamic placement, we can just set them apart by a little bit and have the knee put out here, so that leg extended by a bit, and then go back into the foot, just moving it a little bit to balance that out. And the arms can also be, again, this, for instance, if this body was a little backward, like if we just move it like that and probably a little to the top, we could also stretch out the arms exactly, like just stretch them out. So that from here, and this can remain right where it is, and this can remain right where it is, and this will just go back like that into the shoulder, and the chest will, like, again, move inward, and this need not change by too much. So some sort of like dynamic action going there, and it's quite can be of like immense use actually. So we are going to, in our effort today, go with the highlight of the second option instead. And you see that we did not need to necessarily change the placement of the hand. It remains right where it is. Yes, we move the torso inward by a little bit. And that leg necessarily does not need to change at all. So there we have it. Person swinging an object while now jumping to the side. Now, another thing that we can also do, and we have to take advantage of this if we want, if we just tilt this like this, we can have like a like different range going there too. And we wanted to put that right out too, although like we have already chosen this frame to go with. We can just station the shoulder high up like this and have the other hand go and grasp the object somewhere here, but that cannot be a sword. It has to be something else. So those different options, and of course we can place the eyes and the nose as we want. And there we have an action pose going. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, keep in touch, and have yourself a wonderful day.